You should try that when you go to the coastal city. Well, with the election period just coming to an end, a lot has happened. A number of women have been able to clinch high-profile seats. Right now, the various gubernatorial positions that women have been able to secure is in the Bomet County, where we have the current governor, that is Joyce Laboso, Dr. Joyce Laboso, I beg your pardon, who won on a Jubilee ticket. She is one of the women who will be driving the devolution agenda. Other than that, there was also the Kirinyaga governor, that is Anne Waiguru, former devolution cabinet secretary, who will also be steering the devolution agenda. Over and above that, there is Charity Kaluki Ngilu, who won on the party in the Kitui gubernatorial race. She emerged the tops in those particular elections. And it will be interesting to see how this will change the devolution dream. And of course, a number of experts have come out indicating that women continue to play a significant role in terms of empowerment and enabling communities to rise above the shackles of poverty. Well, indeed, congratulations to all those who clinched the seats in this election. And I want to bring in one of the women who has distinguished herself trying to push for women's involvement in matters to do with business, and that is Mary Muthoni, who is the chairperson of the Women in Business chapter of the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, joining us this afternoon. Many thanks, Mary, for joining us.
Thank you so much, Abby, for having me here again.
All right. Let's just start off with how significant is it now that you're seeing more women being elected into positions of influence in the country?
Practically speaking, even by the visibility part of it, without even going to the details, just seeing women in that table, it's important enough and it's good enough. Not too good for comfort, but for what the leaps and bounds that we have made as women since time immemorial, this is well done to the ladies. Counting the 3 governors, the 3 senators, and 6 other elected MPs, it is not simple feat. Yeah.
So this technically shows Kenya is on the verge of ensuring that gender diversity gets a place in society.
Kenya is actually on the right track. And so to speak, for the women to actually be elected at the county level, that is where the masses are, and that is where their services are required. It doesn't just mean that they will just be there as women, but we are talking about policies that are affecting women directly. They are going to be tightened so that we can see a move even on the numbers. At the board, women at the boards, we want to see the numbers increasing each day, every other day, even in the private sector, not just in government, but also in business. If we look at some of the issues that maybe you can speak about from devolution, agriculture, education, health sector, urban planning, which is very interesting.
Sure.
I would want to see policies which are interesting, like having buses which are specifically for women. You know, I don't want to take a bus ride and then I have young boys touching on the hem of my dress. You see, interesting and workable policies that we can see so that women and gender issues can really take us to another level in the country.
So Mary, looking at Kenya right now, devolution has been able to deliver significant development at the grassroots level.
Yes.
Perhaps now that we have a better sort of representation of women at the county level, perhaps many say that there's that perception that women haven't been able to do much. That's why they were considered for affirmative action to be nominated. Right now we are seeing women taking the bull by its horns, vying for different seats. And from a developmental point of view, where should we see more of effort being channeled towards so as to ensure we have policies that are incorporating the women, and how practical will this be? Because you are serving as a woman governor, but you still have the male factor.
We have to take a lot of effort in civic education and to the masses, because it all starts from that grassroots and bottom of the pyramid woman understanding why we need a female governor, why we need a female senator, or why we need female MPs. You see, if they do not understand, it is going to be practically very hard for them to even vote for their own, you see. But when they understand, the cultural barriers are slowly by slowly going to be broken, you know. And again, if you look at the male factor, it's not that women fight with the male factor, really. It's just a point of let us have an equal representation or an equality share of what is there for the resources that we have in the country, you see. If we are talking about maternal health care, why would we even have male just discussing about maternal health care?
Sure.
When you do not even understand how I feel when I'm pregnant, you see. So we will need a woman who can pin that point down. And the more the women, the better. I can tell you, I've been a director and one singly elected director.
Is there really a significant difference when we have women in leadership in terms of taking those decisions that can help a village, can help a community?
When it is a collective decision, it makes work easier. Because if you go to speak about women issues, sometimes you're backed off with hiyo ni mambo ya wamama, you see? But when there are more women speaking the same language, it becomes practically very easy for you to push an agenda. It's not easy when you're alone. There's a likelihood for you to be actually given a zone of you woman and the rest of the team. So if we have 3 governors in the team, 3 senators in the team, it brings a whole new face. Imagine a city which has been designed by a woman. I'm still thinking about Adopt a Light. Not even a single man has come up with such an idea again. You know, it was the idea of a woman, you see? And the whole city was lit, and we were feeling, oh, it's so warmly, you know, it is so calm, it is so pleasant. So women come with other skills that are unseen, you know, some soft skills that you may not see. She may not be as aggressive in the way she speaks, in the way she presents issues, but behind the scenes, the intelligence in that woman can design a policy. And I'll give an example with Elgeyo Marakwet. They have a Women Policy Act, which really is very favorable for the women, you know. So it depends on the mind shift of the people in that, on the table, which can be brought easily by women participating in the same. There's a difference between an elected leader and a nominated leader. It gets tougher, especially at the ward level, where we have women who are nominated. I'll give an example with Embu County, you know.
Yeah.
And there is not a single woman elected MCA. Same case to Kirinyaga County. So I'm imagining those counties will have to go down to the level of nominating about 10 other MCAs. But they do not have equal powers with the elected leaders. They do not represent a ward. You see, it makes it even hard to roll out programs to the same people. Another thing, what roles or what responsibilities are these women when they come to the table? You know, you can be at the table, but you don't have
You're
anything.
being shortchanged by every move you're making.
You don't have anything you're doing. All the heavyweight committees are given to the men, and you're left there wondering what happened. You see? So when the proper policies are made, you have actually been shortchanged. So these are other things that we must be very, very clear about.
Sure.
And I'm asking if the women can form lobby groups early enough to train the women into these positions. Because right now what we are having, we have the parties nominating the women. So basically my loyalty is to my party. It's not to the woman, you see. At the end of the day, the majority of the women are left hanging without anywhere to run to, you see. So we need to have lobby groups that are training. We don't want to wait up to 2022 and then we start saying, oh, it is Muthoni we want. We need to start identifying those potential millennials who can take over the leadership when time comes. And when you have the right skills and the right mind, women have papers these days. You don't need to go saying, I'm here because of a woman. You're there because you qualify.
So, Mary, do you feel there's sufficient political will to ensure we have more women playing a vital role in politics? We've seen the two-third gender rule coming before the floor of Parliament. It has been defeated several times. There are attempts to bring it back. Perhaps, what does this mean for the girl child?
Abby, I'm sorry, I don't see a lot of political goodwill in that. And what I would say is the one-third gender rule is fine, but we still have to treat the symptoms of this disease before we go to treating the disease itself. We can block the symptoms, but we are talking about culture right now. You see, if my father still feels that you're married elsewhere, so you should not come and vie in this constituency, I mean, we still have to treat that and make them sure that it is a right for any woman to vie in any constituency. Again, a lot of civic education, which is required for that, because without the masses really knowing what is supposed to be done, we will keep going round in circles without moving anywhere. And for the political class, really, it doesn't really matter how many women are going to be an additional in Parliament. What matters is that they are qualified to be there and they can contribute to the benefit of this country. A woman is the person who brings together the family. A woman is the person who wakes up early in the morning to go to the river. Agriculture, in our constitution, really. We talk at the annex of chapter 2, you can see that the first in the list of power is agriculture. Yeah. And out of the 15 million SMEs that we have in the country today, 3/4 of them could be women. And out of that 3/4, we could have almost 90% being in agriculture industry, you see. So apart from that, in other sectors, women are still there. All we need are favorable electoral policies.
All right, all right.
That will help the woman to get it, or to convince the electorates that I am not there because I'm belittling anybody, but because I qualify and I can represent you better.
So, Mary, we want to take a quick break. Interesting insights you're sharing with us this afternoon. And after the break, we'd want to get into another dimension. What opportunities lie for women now that we have devolution going into another term? What tender opportunities are there? What opportunities are there for SMEs? So we'll be having that conversation after this commercial break. Don't go too far.